G'day guys, and welcome back to another video. Now today I'm not doing a big old tour going somewhere, I don't know, I'm saving that for later when I go out Queensland. That's in another video I'm going to be working on. Now what we're doing in this video is I'm sticking around Sydney and I'm looking for two endangered species of frog. Now they are two heath frogs, which is you've got your southern heath frog and then your northern heath frog. Now these are two species of frog you can actually find around here in Sydney. The most northern extent of the southern heath frog is around the southern highlands, while the most southern extent of the northern heath frog is right around where I am now. So right here behind us, you can hear lots of other frogs. The weird ones you can hear squeaking in that. I think they're either, I forget what they're called, like some little brown frog, Paracunia something or other, and then you've also got your smooth toadlets, one of the two. But somewhere in these ferns, in this heath, hopefully there are some northern heath frogs, which we are currently out looking for now. But wait, I actually hear one just in there. So hopefully actually going to try to find one. Now you might notice I have a completely different shirt in the video because I am here several weeks later because I actually forgot to record the intro. So yeah, let's do this. So the next clip starts off not in Sydney where the clip just before was, and that's poorly formatted video, it's completely my bad. But where I am is down in the southern highlands, like, well, more eastern southern highlands, but like still pretty high lands sort of thing. But yeah, so we're down there and one of my mates, she found a pretty cool frog. That's like, you know, what we came there for. Well, I'm going to pass back to me who's talking about it right now with the frog. Yo. Alright, g'day guys, and this is the frog, well, one of the frogs that we came all the way out to this region for. Now, we're in the southern highlands, and this is the southern heath frog. Now, this is the southern species of heath frog. There used to be one species, and that was your little John Eye or your heath frog. But then recently, as of like, I think it was like 2 years ago or something, it got split into two distinct species. The northern one, which is still little John Eye, and then your southern one. Now, this species ranges, we're in the most northern extent of its range, and it ranges all the way down south towards Victoria. And this is a stunning frog, but unfortunately, this frog has been absolutely hammered as of lately due to habitat destruction and chytrid. Now, because this frog is a pretty cold climate frog, it's winter breeder, loves this really cooler climate, but so does chytrid. And so this frog is one of the many that has been absolutely hammered by that fungus. So these frogs have a really cool way of defending themselves. Now, they have this really like sticky sort of secretion, and this has also earned them the name the curry frog because it also smells like a bit like curry, and that is to deter predators. So when a predator goes to have a go at this frog, it not only sees that really bright orange legs that it has, but it also gets a really strong smell and a really strong taste at that like secretion that they have, and it scares them off. Now, this isn't the only Aussie frog that does it. You get your Jervis Bay tree frogs, which I reckon is a pretty close relative to this guy, and your Satropa, or your Blue Mountains tree frog, which also secrete that secretion, and they all use that for defense. But this is hands down got to be one of the sickest frogs that I've seen so far. I was lucky enough to actually find them last year, but that was before I had this fully sick camera that I have now. So yeah, it's so cool that we managed to re-find them. Yeah, so you can definitely see here those bright orange legs that they have. Absolutely stunning frogs. Gotta love them, eh? They're sick.
Your camera's so good.
All right, now it's time to hit the road and jump onto our next one. We're just on our way back from looking for the frogs, and we somehow managed to find this beautiful, really large adult golden crown snake just on the road on the way down. So even in a video with frogs, I've got to squeeze a snake in there somehow. That's a beautiful one. That's a sick snake. I'm in the socks as well, the wombat socks. Right, g'day guys, we're back, and back out here looking for frogs yet again. After last night's incredible success with the southern heath frog, that was really cool to see them again. We're back out here, more up north near Sydney way. And we're looking for the northern subspecies, or little John-eye, or the Northern Heath frog. Now, I've seen them before way up the Central Coast sort of thing, where they're a lot more common up there, but I haven't seen them down my way, so that's what I'm out here looking for. So hopefully our luck changes. We haven't really seen much tonight. We've been using the Frog ID app to get call playbacks, which is a really good way at finding frogs because they always call back most of the time. So yeah, we're just sort of walking around. I'm not expecting them to be out here in the middle, obviously. I'm more looking on these shoreline plants sort of thing, hiding along there. But yeah, fingers crossed we turn something up. Our first frog of the night. And it isn't a little John-eye, but it is another really cool frog you can find around here. And this is Latoria. Oh, I think it's a Stony Creek frog, I'm pretty sure. Or it might be a whistling tree frog. It's hard to tell because they both go really yellow. Now, let me look at his legs. Because oftentimes you can tell what frog it is just by the little markings and stuff they have. He's got purple spots on his leg. Ah yeah, so this is a Stony Creek frog. You can tell he's got those little purple spots. This one's a male one of the species because, you know, we heard him calling a little while back. And they usually go this bright yellow. Now, you may think he's really, really yellow right now, but during the height of the breeding season in summer, this species goes like a really, really vibrant yellow at night. And that's how you can tell the difference between the males and the females of this species. Just so you guys get a reference for how brightly coloured these frogs are. This is one from around December last year, and you can see the bright colours on him. What a frog, eh? Anyway, back to this other clip. Really cool little frog. Absolutely love him. However, it is not the species that we walked all the way out here to find. So we'll let you go, little dude. We'll try to find something else. That sexual dimorphism I was talking about, the Stony Creek frogs. But there's a very large female Stony Creek frog, and as you can see, much more duller brown colour. Still a really cool frog though. Man, I thought it was a Northern Heath frog, eh? At first. Well, I'll leave you go. Let's find some Northern Heathies, hopefully. So, the clip that I just recorded then, once again, I'm very poorly organised and I didn't actually film a transition video because I like to transition between the clips so you guys know actually what's going on. Hey, don't sneak up on me. I don't have any food. Diamond pythons, eh? Anyway. But so the next clip occurs in a different spot, but a couple of nights later, I think we didn't actually find anything at night and then sort of packed up, went around, went to the other spot and we were a little bit more successful. I reckon there was a bit more going on. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to pass back to me who's, trying to find more frogs. Yo! Yeah, if you get another really cool species of frog you can find around here. Now this is Latoria cetropa, or the Blue Mountains tree frog. Now, it does look very similar to our target species, the Northern Heath frog. It's got those red legs, although the Northern Heath frog doesn't have those green around the eyes, stuff like that. Now it is about to start, it is raining a bit, so I'm going to put my phone away. But yeah, hopefully we find these frogs. Another frog tonight. This is a coastal banjo frog, another new species. This one was only described like early last year. Used to be the eastern banjo frog, but yeah, really cool frog. One of my favourites. We actually saw a much, much larger one. He was like almost the size of my hand. He was huge. But that's it. Let's keep moving. I saw it jump. I'm like, shit, that's a big frog. So you can actually hear one. Yeah, they're the ones that are like wah, 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 wah. That's sort of cool. See if we can get on camera. So that's it there. So we're looking around these ferns. I'm trying to be very careful of where I tread, just because I don't tread on one. But they love these sort of ferns, because this is the same sort of habitat that we found the Southern Heath frog in, these sort of ferns. So I'm assuming they love the same sort of stuff, but we are hearing them calling. I just don't know if they're down there. But however we do it, I'm going to try get photos of one however possible. Hopefully I really want one just sitting on top of this stuff, but see where we can find one. But yeah, fingers crossed we find one. It'd be really cool. You can hear him. He just got to find one. All right, g'day guys. We're back a few nights later, and right in front of us we have the second species of heath frog. Now I've seen this species right up north near, I don't know, I think it's like Cessnock or something up that way. But here we're around Sydney, which I've never seen this species around here. They're actually everywhere at the moment because we just had a really large period of rain. And so this is the Northern Heath frog, or Latoria little Johni. Now, this guy's an endangered species of frog that lives in the heathlands around this region, in like, you know, ponds and stuff like the one behind us. And we haven't even been here for that long. This is my third or fourth time at this place actually looking for this species. And this is the first time we've actually turned up pretty lucky with them. So, such an incredible species of frog. You can actually see how they look so similar to the Southern Heath frog. Like, they're a brown tree frog. They've got the, wait, if we're really quiet. Hang on. We're really quiet. You can actually hear one calling right now. But, so that's one of the differences. But the similarities is that obviously it's a really brown frog. They've still got that curry secretion on them. Like really like ends, I don't know, whatever it is that smells like curry. There's one, I think, there. But, and they've got those bright orange legs. But where they differ is there is a significant amount of genetic difference between this guy and his southern counterpart. Now, the reason for this is likely just due to geography, because there's like mountains down there and there's like a valley. And because this species, like the more cooler sort of alpine areas, well, not really alpine, but like the higher up regions, it sort of acted like a divide between the two species. So you've got the ones going south and the ones on the northern end going all the way up north to around Newcastle. Now, such a cool species of frog. But I'm going to explain a bit about the Frog ID app, which actually made it possible for us to find this frog. So frogs all around Australia, they're not doing too good. You know, like this is one of around 246, 260 something species at the moment, as of a few years ago. And this is one of the species that isn't doing too well. And yeah, it's just due to chytrid, habitat destruction, disease, everything like that is the reasons why this frog isn't doing too well. But how we're able to identify this frog from its southern counterpart is not only the genetic stuff, but also their call differentiation. Because they may sound very similar, but to this frog, if we were to play the Southern Heath frog call right now, it wouldn't be able to recognise it as like a mate or anything like that. And so that frog wouldn't actually breed with the northern ones, which is how we know they're two separate species. But the Frog ID app, it's a free app you can get on mobile. It's an insanely good app, and you can use it to not only map out the frogs you have in your area based on their calls, but also you can use them to actually find frogs. You use call playback, you play their calls, you hone in on where this guy is, because a male one like this guy will call back, either in like a territorial response, mainly just telling you to go away because you're in his territory, and then these guys will call back, and it allows you to find some pretty cool frogs. So that's how I've found a lot of the frogs that you've seen on this channel so far, but this is definitely one of the highlights. Yeah, such a cool frog. I'm gonna get to photographing him, but wow, what a doozer. Ew.
So you may have noticed throughout the video, I've got like these subtitles and that popping up, and a lot of them don't actually say Latoria. Now, the reason for that is because at the time of this video, the paper that all this frog reclassification stuff wasn't actually released. So I'm going to chuck a link in the top of this video somewhere where you guys can actually read the paper if you guys are interested, because trust me, it's pretty interesting.
So this isn't our heath frog, but... so it's called. Oh yeah. So this is Paracrinia haswelli, or the Haswell's frog. He's close enough. But really cool ground frog. They're the ones that you hear and they go like meh, meh, meh. You know, they're those ones. Yeah, they're those ones that you hear like meowing everywhere. Beautiful frog. He's got these bright red thighs. Hang on. Yeah, you can see that in the corner there. Bright red thigh. That's actually sick. Cool frog. Love him. That's sick. Alright, well, this has been a pretty entertaining video. Seen some pretty cool frogs, both heath frogs, like this is our northern one obviously, and it's taken us quite a little bit, probably a week's worth of frogging just to find both of them, so a bit of dedication on my part and like the others who came along with me sort of thing. But yeah, hopefully I'm going to try get a few videos out over winter, but of course it's going to be winter soon here in Australia, and so there's not going to be too much reptiles and stuff out and about. But I'll try to get some content out and stuff like that. But for for now, I'll leave you to it, guys. See ya.